Oh, we're so professional. It's such a tiny screen you're taking out. Love it.
Ow.
Fuck off.
Hey guys, this is Dubz.
This is Cavan.
And we're here to do an intro for the new podcast day.
Part 2
of Cavan Lewis.
That's me. You can't really see me, I'm pointing.
Yeah, there he is. That's my finger.
Whoa.
Oh, he's gone now. He went out of the frame.
I'm back.
He's back. He's my best friend, and I really thought that this would be pretty cool. I had a lot of fun doing the first one, and if you listen to this, there's a lot of talk in the beginning about, you know, are the people going to be able to hear the original podcast we did? And if you follow the podcast, then you should know. I already posted it up. It was the very first one that I did. And I had a lot of fun, so we decided to do it twice, and plus Cavan, very easily persuaded. So, did you have fun doing the podcast?
Yeah, man, most that. Always.
Right on. So yeah, check this out.
Peace.
Later. You are listening to the Off the Top of the Dome Piece podcast. Hey guys, and welcome to the Off the Top of the Dome Piece podcast, where we sit down with seemingly ordinary people and get them to tell us their extraordinary stories. We talk about anything and everything. Nothing's off topic and nothing's too taboo. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Welcome, guys, to the Off the Top of the Dome Piece podcast. I am your host, Mr. Dubz, and thanks for checking out episode 6 of the Off the Top of the Dome Piece podcast.
Yeah.
Today's guest is a return guest, Mr. Cavan Lewis. If you remember, Cavan was in the first episode.
They brought me back.
I brought him back against his will. Against his will.
No, I volunteered. It wasn't that bad.
Well, shit. A couple of things before we get into the podcast. I want you guys to check out PodSquad.com. Mr. Cavan, have you checked that out?
I have. I pop in every now and again.
Right on. What'd you think of it?
It's good. You put a lot of work into it, man.
Looks pretty sweet, doesn't
it? Maybe it's different for me because I saw it from like the ground up.
Yeah, Cavan was a guy that I always went to, and I was like, hey, does this look good? Does this look good? And he's like, no, you got to change it.
You made me sound mean. You're like
he's an asshole.
I am not. I swear. I was very supportive.
All right, check out PodSquad.com. He's not an asshole, folks. He's really not.
Yeah.
He's the sweetest guy you'll ever meet. I believe on this podcast I actually try to e-pimp him. So yeah, if you're interested,
what isn't it?
This one. It's
gonna be all over the internet.
Check out DubzPodSquad.com. I have a page on there. It's called Dubz Rec Room, where I post up a bunch of awesome shit, awesome content from other people. I've got Blinky 500. I've got Black Box TV. I've got Soul Pancake. Soul Pancake. Subscribe. You fucked me up when you said that. I got Blinky 500, Soul Pancake, Black Box TV, True Story Podcast, and so far, Vision of Rose Photography. They're all awesome stuff. You can check it out. Go to Dubz Rec Room. I'll have their links to link them to either the websites or
share them
Facebook,
too.
YouTube pages, whichever.
Tell people about stuff like Soul Pancake because it's a good thing.
It's a very good thing.
It's a very good thing.
You just check it out, man. These videos really warm the soul. Another thing on there, we got Dubz Community, which is a little forum that I got on there. I'm trying to get that off the ground. You can go there and tell your own stories and communicate with other people that like what I'm doing.
Or maybe just give us some good feedback. Or him some good feedback. I'm sorry.
He's
got a mouse in his pocket.
This isn't us. Yeah, I think I made this shit myself, but I'm not going to take sole claim to everything. I got a lot of friends that support me, and I really think that's awesome. So, I got a YouTube channel now. On YouTube. Just search Dubz PodSquad, and you'll find all the stuff I'm doing. I just got a new camera, so I'm going to try to be making a lot more videos here soon.
He's everywhere.
I am everywhere, as a matter of fact. I'm on YouTube, I'm on Twitter, I'm on Facebook, I'm on SoundCloud, Mixcloud, Spreaker, everywhere. So check all this stuff out. You can hit me up. I'm at Dubz at DubzPodSquad.com. Just let me know how I'm doing. And
he does it for the peoples.
I do it for the peoples. I'm trying to shed some light on the underground, so to speak. Think I've wasted enough of your time talking about this. So So, on with the show.
Yeah, welcome to the show.
Did I say something?
You say something.
There we go.
Yeah.
We're on.
Yeah. Smiley face for the win.
Well, well, thank you for joining us.
You're just gonna edit that out, right?
No, maybe.
Of us
the
going
smiley-
bop boop.
And it makes it look like a smiley face. You sure?
Yeah, for right now I'm good.
Okay. Well, thanks for joining us again
For the second time.
for the second time.
Right. It's good to be back.
We recorded a test run podcast. It's just like a first. I don't know.
Stumbling.
Yeah. I'm
Get it
stumbling.
together.
Fuck off.
Flying face. Living face.
I got it out the notebook.
Oh, he's got the questions. You know, this is like I thought about this before I came over here. It's kind of like you're my shrink now.
You shrink.
Yeah, because in life you very rarely get to talk to somebody about yourself without seeming
Like conceited.
Yeah, conceited. I was gonna say dickish, but yeah,
Dickish.
conceited is a better vocabulary term, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I was just thinking about the things we talked about on the first run of our podcast.
Are they even going to get to hear it?
Huh?
Are they going to get to hear that?
Yeah, more than likely. I'm probably post
Is this one going to come out first before the other one?
I don't know.
Ooh, I don't know. You're the genius. I'll let you work.
All right. I was just thinking about things that we didn't really touch on, like
See, I felt bad for being ADD for a second, but you lost all train of thought.
All right, I'll probably edit that stuff out.
Yeah, come on now.
We gotta talk later.
What?
Yeah, you gotta kind of talk into.
You gotta
it.
talk into the mic.
All right. Thank you for joining us again.
I think you should actually probably start over, but I mean, you can edit whatever you want out. So yeah, thanks.
It was fun. It was fun the last time that we talked and we kind of did the podcast, recorded it. I let you listen to the finished product of it. What'd you think?
It was good. It was really good. I had no objections.
Right on.
He actually made me sound kind of smart. You know? That's a task in itself.
The power of editing.
Yeah, editing. You didn't get to hear the 45 minutes of me being like, what's the word? What's the word?
All right. Well, I'm gonna fill in people on how I know you. So, remember when we first met?
Yes, I do. Well, all right. The first time I met Warren, if you knew him now, he's like a bigger guy. You know, he's lovable. He's cuddly. He's like a teddy bear. You know. But at one point, Warren looked a lot like a female. I guess that's the best way to put it.
I went through a weird phase.
Yes, he did. So the first time I met Warren, I was at a mutual friend's house, and it was actually a pool party. I remember it. Yeah. I ended up leaving early because somebody came by and picked me up. But
yeah, one of your brother's friends.
yeah, they were like, "Come on, get in the car, we leaving." So I was like, "Okay." But I had never hung out with Warren before. He was a couple years older than me, right?
Yeah. What are you? 23? 24?
Yeah.
27. So yeah, 3 years.
3 years older than me. So when I was a freshman, he was a senior, or was it junior?
I was a junior. Yeah.
Yeah, you were a junior. So I mean, I didn't know him, and then he showed up at this party, and through a mutual friend of ours, he just made his rounds with everybody he knew or whatever, and he was talking about this guy asking him out at his locker. So I'm sitting there and I'm looking at him, and I'm like, I'm contemplating myself. I'm like, what is he a chick? You know? I mean, it sounds weird now because I know you're a guy, so I automatically put a he in there. But like, I literally turned to our mutual friend and was like, is that a boy or a girl? And she was like, it's a guy. I was like, whoa.
Who was that? Did you ask?
It was Maggie.
Was it Maggie?
Yeah, it was Maggie.
Because Maggie met me before I met you because she came over and she played the music. She played the Blink-182. She was all about that and playing the guitar.
You guys and your punk rock.
And she actually came to that mutual friend. It was Mandy. It was Mandy's house.
Yep.
Yeah. And she came over there, and I remember one of the first things she said to me on the phone. She's like, "Do you like girls that wear spike bracelets? Are you into that kind of thing?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, I guess." And she's like, "Okay, because I'm like one of those girls." I was like, I thought that was kind of weird.
You were very. I mean, I don't even know what you would ask because you were like all make-upped up and
Yeah.
goth looking.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
he
went
was
through a
he was
phase.
super into Manson and Placebo, and I don't think I'd be as big of a fan of either one if it wasn't for me meeting Warren. So
Yeah, well, thank you.
yeah, I'll give you that. I'll give you that. And then like I mean, we had the same clique, but our cliques, like, it was two different cliques, and then they kind of just melted together.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's really that's pretty much how it went.
Yeah, pretty much.
I kind of brought you into my group of friends, and I was kind of already in your group of friends, but
Yeah.
you didn't notice yet.
Listen the way you say that. You're like, I brought you into my group of friends, and I was already in your group of friends, so hi.
No, I mean, they were your group of friends, and I just kind of weaseled my way into that.
Weaseled out, man. I wouldn't say weaseled. I mean, but for the longest time, yeah, I mean, I knew you play music, and like you would walk down the street playing guitar and shit like that, and you were the very artsy kid. Yeah. And you always knew really cool people, so like I always enjoyed hanging out with you. I don't think I ever thought, like, the first time I saw you that we'd end up being as good of friends as we are. But I mean, that's just life, man. It works out like that, you know.
Yeah. It's crazy, man. You got.
But it's just like Kevin. The first time I met Kevin, I didn't like Kevin. Did I tell you about that?
No.
Because I had like a super huge crush on Mandy, and there was like that drama, high school drama. They used to date or whatever.
Yeah, Mandy was hot.
Yeah, Mandy was so hot. Oh my god. But oh yeah. What if she listens to this?
Yeah, she ain't never gonna listen to it.
Whatever. But yeah, like, so I didn't like Kevin at first, and it wasn't until like we started skateboarding together and stuff like that we became such friends. And like, you guys are like my best friends, man. I mean, you, Kevin, you know, Dez. I'm very lucky to have a large group of people that I consider family.
Right on. That's cool. That's very cool. Because it's crazy, because there was a point before we became musical soulmates that we tried to do the music thing, or at least you tried to kind of get into that. And
Right. Well, I mean, I never really like sang for any money before that or whatever, and I forget how it was. But I mean, I'd always liked to sing, you know. I just never have made music before. And then I asked you one day, I was like, yo, can I, because you had this band, and I thought it was fucking cool as shit. It was like you and Danny Dorsett and Kevin, you know, and I was like, dude, I want in. And Warren, in his typical rock star fashion at that point in time, I was like, can I be part of your band? And you were like, well, what do you do? And I was like, well, I can sing. And you were like, well, we already got a singer. It's me. And we don't need another one. And I was like, ouch.
So he says this, but
it was just like that. It was just like that.
I don't really remember this happening, but you know, he says it, so I believe him.
Well, I mean, like, I just remember getting shot down the first time I asked you.
I'm sorry.
It's okay, man.
All right, but then there was a point when I got to sit there with the guitar and actually listen to Cavan sing, and
It was in my garage.
It was in your garage. And it was like one of the first times we actually hung out at your house, and I had the guitar with me. Because like you said, I used to take my guitar everywhere, and you'd seen us practice and stuff like that. But this was the first time that I ever actually brought the guitar.
The acoustic back then, you loved to play your acoustic. Don't get me wrong. He brought his acoustic everywhere, but you were more of a metal person back then. So when you practiced, it was always on an electric guitar.
Yeah.
And I mean, I didn't have any amps or any music. I didn't even own a guitar before I knew you.
No, you didn't. I was all about the taking back the little emo kind of screamo type stuff, and
right. You were very good at it, though. I hope you die tonight.
See, I listened to that because I'm like, that was such a cool song to play, but then I listened to it and I'm like, oh God, why the fuck? Oh, I sound so horrible.
We all sounded like that.
I sounded like a fucking little kid, a little girl.
Yeah, we were young, man.
Puberty hadn't quite hit me that hard.
But that is the cool thing, though, that we've been making. I mean, we're getting off topic right now, but that we've been making music so long since the day that you're talking about. So, like, we've grown as artists, if you could say, or musical enthusiasts. Like I said, I didn't own a guitar before I knew you, and I mean, I had played music before, but I never knew how to play. I never sat down and like tried to make music, you know. I wrote poetry. That was as far as I went. I never made songs.
You are a lyrical gangster.
A lyrical gangster.
Yeah, you really are, and that's what really like. After hearing you sing when we were playing that, what was the name of the song? going down on 45.
Yep.
And when you first started doing that, I remember being so excited and being just like that it happened, and that I was like, that's it. He is it, and this is creating my musical journey. I have hit that top. Well, we found out where we're going, and now we're going up.
Right.
Now we're going up, and that has been what 9 years since we've done that.
Yep.
And we've written a lot of songs. A lot of the times we skip school was to write songs.
Yeah.
And that's what we
sitting
do.
in my attic, being like, we're not going to school today because we're rock stars.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you should fill them in. Warren lived with me for a little while when we were young. Like, I was like 15 or 16, and Warren was like 17, I think.
Because I was a very angsty kid towards my mother. And so I was like, you know what, Mom? I don't need you. Or she would be like, you know what? Get out. And Cavan would always be like, yeah, you can stay here.
Yeah, I got that option as a kid. I was like, Mom, my friend's crashing here for a while. And she was like, okay.
Yeah. And that was very cool. And
my mom always tried to take care of my friends, for the record. Like, she does she cares about the people I care for.
Exactly. And we love her for that. We really do. Little Miss Debbie.
That's cool, man. That really is cool. I do love my mom. I'm a mama's boy through and through.
Yeah. We all love your mom. She's like, yeah, as a matter of fact, the other night I went over there and got to sit there and hang out with you for a while, and then free spaghetti.
Yeah, you got to eat free spaghetti.
Yeah, man, that was cool. She's like, we made enough.
How come your blips are so bigger than mine?
Because you're not talking into the mic.
I am talking to the mic. My lips are touching.
See, I'll turn mine down.
Okay.
Is that better?
Yeah.
See, now you're bigger than mine.
Haha. But anyway, what were we talking about?
The beginning of our friendship and the musical relationship.
Okay.
When we played in a garage and we went out to show everybody, and just ever since then it's just been.
Well, it was off the top of the dome piece. Actually, the first time we ever played music, it was completely freestyle.
Exactly, off the top of the dome piece. That's where I got. That's
there you go.
I take great pride in being able to just sit down with you and be able to do just off the top of the dome piece kind of stuff.
Well, it's because I don't know why, but for some reason, always through music, we've always kind of gotten each other. Like, I can look at you and be on the same page as you without us hearing the same thing. Like, there can be no music involved, and we'll still be on the same page. Yeah. It's ridiculous. I mean, it is kind of like, if people listen to this, they're gonna be like, these guys are totally gay for each other. I mean, but it is. I mean, we're both heterosexual males.
Yes.
But edit that out, please.
What that we are both.
But we
get
get each other like we're fucking cycles or synced or whatever.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Now we're women. Now we're lesbians. We're not even fags anymore. We're lesbians.
Awesome.
I mean that in the greatest way possible, that we're not fags.
Yeah, you need to probably edit that out too.
Yeah, I probably edit the fags part out.
He's like, we're not fags, we're lesbians. That is so mean. That is so mean.
Well, I've been around gay people, so I feel like I almost have a right to say it.
You have a right to say it. I put in my time.
I've been around.
I went to a parade one time, so I can say it now.
Well, I mean, when you sucked as many dicks.
This is true. When you sucked as many dicks as Warren, you might want to edit that out too.
Yeah, I'm gonna edit that out. I don't want people to know that I suck dick. No, fucking gay.
Oh God.
The writing music thing. I mean, there are many times when we play with other people, do you think it's more or less that when we play with other people, they just don't get it? Because we have trouble playing with other people.
Well, the thing about playing with other people versus the thing about playing with us is, I'll go back to the statement that we are very lucky in the fact that, like I said, there can be no music involved, and we still. How do I explain this? It's like when I said, I think last time when you asked me about my writing process, and you were like, well, how do you write? Come up with stuff off the top of your dome piece and, stuff like that, da-da. And I was like, I hear it. For some reason, you hear the same thing. I don't, and when we play with other people, they can add to it.
Yeah.
But if if me and you aren't there at the bottom, the root of it, like doing what we do, then it's really hard for some reason. Like to get 4 different people to be on the same page is hard enough on anything.
Yeah, it's hard. It's a lot.
I mean, we could be doing this podcast right now, and you know what I mean. If there was 2 other people, there'd be conflicting opinions and da 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 da, and
which makes for a good podcast.
Yeah, I mean, I
Certain
understand
extent.
that, but not when you're trying to make music. I mean, we have the ability to adapt, so it's not hard for us to play with other people because we can kind of let them do their thing and work around it. And I know we have enough talent between us. Well, not saying talent, but like chemistry. There we go. That's the word for it. We have enough chemistry between us that once you lay something down, I can kind of work with it.
Right, yeah. Same with you. Once you lay something down, I can try to figure.
Yeah.
You lay the local vocals down and be like this. I want to sound like this. These are words I'm trying to set out.
When me and Warren make music, I don't know if you guys ever seen Tenacious D, the Pick of Destiny, but it's something like that. Like I'll be like, that's not it. No, different. No, a little bit higher, a little bit slower. Oh wow, it sounded like sex for a second. But that's it right there. A little bit higher, a little bit lower.
Wrong hole.
No, it's like I tell him, I'm like, no, I want something a little bit more bluesy, and he comes up with this stuff, and it matches, or I'll be stuck on a word, if you will, and Warren will be like, well, what about this? And it flows. It just works,
I try very much. I try my hardest.
Because even though he keeps calling me a lyrical genius, I say the same thing over and over again. I do.
But we really have come a long way, and we're currently, the name of our band is Dedicated to the Memory.
Yeah, you should check us out, guys.
Yeah, we have a couple of videos on YouTube.
I think we got 4. Some of our old stuff though, like the newer stuff, like we can plug it real quick, I guess.
The newest stuff is
Road to Heaven and Crazy.
Yeah, it's Dedicated to the Memory, Road to Heaven, and Dedicated to the Memory. It's Crazy. And actually, when I put up this podcast in the show notes, because I'm gonna do show notes, I'll actually put the links in there. So
sounds like a good idea. Leave some comments.
Yeah, leave some comment. Give us your feedback. Hopefully, it's all good stuff. But I'm not actually sure where I'm gonna actually host the podcast from. But as soon as I figure that out, I will let everybody know. And they want to listen.
You sound like a hobo with a dream right now. One day, I'm not really sure, but I got these ideas, dog. I got these ideas.
A hobo with a dream.
A hobo with a dream.
You know what? That would be the name of the podcast if Off the Top of the Dome piece was
Welcome to Hobo with a Dream.
Hobo.
Hobo.
I thought you said homo.
A homo. Keeps going back to that for some reason.
One of the things that our music has kind of done is,
I say it's calmed us down a lot.
Calmed us down. It's also, it puts a lot of stress on other relationships.
What do you mean?
Back a few years ago, there was a certain someone that dated a certain someone.
Oh, Lord.
And just kind of fell out of the band.
You talking to me?
Yeah.
That's because I don't put a lot of effort into stuff. It's very rare to get me to do things. Warren knows this.
Well, yeah, and you're very, I don't want to say weak-willed.
Yeah, you do.
You're very
influenced.
Yeah, you're easily influenced. Not only that, but you have such a heart that
it's easy for people to get to me.
Yeah,
and they know it, so they use it to get what they want.
Yeah.
Not necessarily anybody now, but in the situation that he was talking to. I mean, I wouldn't say that our music puts strain on other relationships. Maybe just that one in particular, but there's a lot of things. I mean, I don't really want to talk about that on the podcast.
Right, I understand.
Yeah, they're trying to know me, not
your
personal life. I mean, I guess maybe my personal life, but not my romantic attachment so far.
I mean,
Are you asking about it? Do you want me to tell them?
No, I mean, whatever you don't want to talk about, we ain't got.
Well, I don't really feel like talking about that because I wouldn't want to say anything and get put up on the internet because me and said person are on good terms right now. I don't talk to her a lot. I haven't talked to her in years. But the last thing, I know she's happy or whatever, and I don't want to like slander her.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Okay. Then that's perfectly understandable. But homeboy's single now, huh?
Yeah.
Right on. So ladies.
Whatever.
If you're looking for a sweet guy.
Yeah, you can tell I'm sexy by the sound of my voice. No. I'm a scrawny little white kid with tattoos.
With a big heart. A big heart.
Super huge.
But one of the things that we were able to do with our music is a lot of people that listen to our music get very happy with our music.
That's awesome. I really enjoy that aspect. I like the fact of our friends hearing our music, and don't get me wrong, a lot of them have been around us when we practice and stuff, or when we're making something, so they hear something over and over and over again. I guess it has no choice but to be embedded in their mind, but I love like when they're like, play that one song or play this one, man, that's my favorite. And I mean that's awesome. I could give a fuck less. No, let me take that back. Yeah, I don't want to go there. I don't want to say like it doesn't matter to me that other people don't listen to our music, but
it does.
It does matter to me. But at the root of it, even if we don't become famous musicians or anything like that, like as long as I can make the people around me happy with my music, then I'm doing it okay.
Exactly.
And a lot of our friends don't like our style of music.
No, but they like our music.
Exactly.
And it's very cool. It is awesome.
Like, don't get me wrong, we don't have a bunch of like yes men around us being like, "Oh, you're so great," because a lot of them will be like, "Yeah, it's all right. I don't really listen to that, but okay."
Yeah, and not only that, it's very nice to when you're being a nervous person to go out and play your music. Like the first time that we played, and we're like, we're not ready for this. We're not ready for this.
No, dude, I was in go mode at that point, man. We put the time and the effort in, and we opened. Are you talking about when we played
Wabi Sabi?
Wabi Sabi?
Yeah.
Was that the first time we played out? That was our first open mic night before we did the benefit concert. You're right.
We did the benefit concert.
Yeah, I was not ready for that, to be honest with you.
The Wabi Sabi, which is in an old town, Petersburg, right?
Yeah, we can plug that too. It's a great place for sushi.
Yeah, we'll probably put that in the show notes too.
Yeah.
But we did an open mic night there, and neither one of us, we were both so nervous. We were like, all right, we put our name up on there, and then we can't turn back. Okay, this is going to happen. But luckily, we had all of our friends there.
Yeah, we brought a crowd.
Yeah, we brought like 7 or 8 people, 9 people, 10 people. And just the fact that we went on there and played some of our songs, and we looked at it, we could look out to the crowd, and they were singing the song too.
Yeah, that made it a lot easier.
And
a lot easier. I stared at the ground the whole time.
Yeah. And then the benefit of having a big group of people with you there is that once we finish the song, they're like, yeah, yeah. And then the energy that they give off, everybody else is like...
There's that one Australian dude that was like, dude, you gave me the confidence. And he went up there and was like, oi, oi, oi. You remember that? Do you remember that?
No, what?
When he was like, he wasn't really a comedian, but he was some dude from Australia. And he was like, "What I say, blah blah blah. You say, oi oi oi."
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah, that was really cool. And there was that guy that did the war songs too that night. The old school blues. Was that night or was it the other night?
Talking about the old dude with the fucking
dreadlocks,
the army hat.
Yeah.
Whatever, the old school cowboy army hat or whatever.
Well, that was kind of weird. The first time we played, the people that went ahead of us were actually a really good band. They didn't sing or anything though, but they were laying some shit down, and I was like,
he was doing mostly covers, and I got nothing against covers, but it's like I don't want to be known for playing covers. I want to be known for doing original stuff.
Right. I feel like no, I can't say that. I can't say that if you're gonna put it on the podcast. That's not politically correct. I was gonna say a good example of that would be maybe Shinedown. Because Shinedown does have its originals, and they do have a lot of good songs, but they're mostly known for covers. Like their cover of Simple Man, or their cover of, what's that song? What
the Beatles song.
Yeah.
A Little Help from Your Friends.
Yeah, that one, they do covers very well. The dude's got a brilliant voice, man.
He does. He does. He really does. And it just sucks that he's known for his covers because I listened to a couple other albums, dude, and their albums are pretty sweet. But you are kind of always looking for that cover. What cover are they gonna do?
It's like every time I hear "Shine Down," it's always "The Simple Man" or something like that, and I'm like, I mean, that's great, guys. Don't get me wrong. Y'all are awesome. You know, they're a great band. It's just, I think that their covers are outshining their originals, and that shouldn't happen.
That was like Manson back in the day. They got so overshadowed with their cover of "Sweet Dreams."
Sweet Dreams,
like,
yep.
Everybody that you ask, what's your favorite Manson song? They're like,
Sweet Dreams.
Sweet Dreams.
It's like, come on, dude.
Yeah.
You know, we'll see. Again, when I first met Warren and Kevin and all of them, they were really into Manson. So I guess you could say, started off on the right foot. Like my first Manson CD was Portrait. So I got to listen to all of Portrait, and then Mechanical Animals and Antichrist Superstar and Hollywood.
After Hollywood, they kind of went up downhill. But
my favorite song is still "Kill 'Em White." So
"Kill 'Em White's a good song.
Yeah.
Got way off topic there.
I know, right?
It's all good because it's off the top of the dome piece. That's what we do.
Right.
But I was just thinking, one of the good things that came out of us being able to play music is you kind of got to share that with your dad and with his side of the family.
Yeah.
And I always knew that was very...
Well, like I said, music's always been really big in my family, on my dad's side of the family. You know, my dad played guitar, and my grandpa actually was the one that got me like started on like harmonicas and guitar and stuff. Like some of the fondest memories I have of my grandfather is sitting on the porch out in the country, and I mean, this is the sticks, dude. There's nothing around but field. And we would sit on the porch and play music when like it was starting to rain, and you could see the rain coming towards the porch from across the field. It was it was really cool. But like, I mean, I'd never made music before, you know, like me and you started.
Yeah.
But I'd always kind of dabbled with music, you know, because I'd been around guitars and stuff like that. So to come back and be like, check this out, guys, and we, you know, you being there, because I mean, Warren is the yin to my yang. Don't get me wrong. Like, I might come up with the words or whatever, and sometimes I don't even come up with the words. You know, sometimes it's 50-50. Warren makes songs completely without me, and I'm just, you know, gotta let him do his thing. But if I didn't have Warren beside me, it didn't sound the same, if that makes any sense. So when he came through and they heard us together, I mean, it was really cool to see him smile.
It was a very cool thing, and I always knew that it made you feel really good. And by the looks of everybody at your family, they kind of just like adopted me a little bit, you know, because it was
they did, man.
We were doing great.
They always ask about you and stuff like that.
Yeah, well, I love them. They're awesome. We got to play music for your family. Do that,
right?
And even we played at your dad's funeral. We played that one song about him, and that was very nice too.
That was a rough song. That's probably the most emotional distress I've ever been under while I sang.
Yeah, it was good though. It was good. I really cherished that memory, and I'm really glad that we got to do that.
Right. I mean, the coolest part about playing for my dad though, and his side of the family, was always like, I mean, when you play for people, you can kind of tell that sometimes that they don't want to hear anymore.
Yeah.
You know, they're like, all right, you know, that's your third, fourth song. We're cool, man. You play music. I get it.
Yeah,
I get
your son
it.
can play music. We'll watch what my kid can do.
Yeah, you know, but like when I was at my dad's and stuff and we did it, I mean, they'd always be like, play another one, man. Do one more, you know, stuff like that. I mean, that was really cool to stop playing your music and have somebody be like, one more, you know.
Exactly. Oh yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Any situation, that's awesome. Like if we were busking on the street and there's like a dude standing there that we didn't even know, and he was like, "Come on, man, do another original." We're like, okay, you know.
Yeah. I actually saw somebody playing out at Sam's Club the other day.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. I've always admired something about you, how you keep so many people close to you, like your friends, and how close you keep them to you. And I just wanted to know, like, what do you think about that? What do you think about always, you know, having so many people so close to your heart?
That's a deep question. It's a hard one to answer. I mean, you say I keep so many people close to me, but I mean, I don't really. There's really a select few, maybe more than most, but there is a select few of people that I would do anything for, and a lot of it's over the years, you know, like I told you, the first person I ever really hung out with when I came to Hopewell was Victor. Me and Victor are still friends. Yeah. And, you know, through middle school, I met, Maggie and stuff like that. And then in high school, I met you guys. So it's just my circle has grown. It's not like I try to keep everybody that I know close to me. It's just I've had the opportunity and the privilege to know some really cool people. There's a lot of people we still don't talk to that used to be in our group. But again, we won't bring that up on podcasts because,
don't want to hurt anybody's feelings.
And believe it or not, there's a lot of people that don't like me.
I don't know who he's talking about.
Whatever.
It blows my mind. Whatever. Fuck them people, right?
Right.
Now, talk to me a little bit about what your passions in life are.
I like video games.
Well, that's not necessarily a passion. That's
Whatever.
more or less a hobby.
Right?
Yeah.
I guess you could say.
I was thinking more or less like because you're a hibachi chef.
Right.
Explain to the people what a hibachi chef is.
It's also called teppanyaki. If you've ever been to a restaurant where they cook in front of you on a square like grill and they throw spatulas and make fires and toss eggs and do all the tricks and everything, that's what I do. And I don't know if you heard in the beginning of the cast or maybe like a little bit of way through it, but I am a scrawny little white boy with tattoos, so I'm in no way Asian.
And he's a very good hibachi chef.
A white hibachi chef.
He's one of the very few white hibachi chefs, at least that I know.
Well, we don't get out much though.
That's very true. I got cooking because I know that you love to cook.
I do. I really do enjoy cooking.
Which is another thing for the ladies. Sweet guy that loves to cook.
Oh, excuse me. I burped into the mic. That's sexy.
Yeah, well, he's single, ladies. But yeah. The cooking.
Are you trying to like auction me off on this podcast? I feel like he keeps bringing it up. Like he's single.
I brought it up 2 times.
I'm just saying.
I'm sorry. I apologize, sir.
Yeah.
I know that you love to cook.
I do.
And what did that stem from?
Besides like fast food and stuff like that, I'm not very good as a person at understanding stuff that I don't automatically get. Like when it comes to things like electronics, cars, anything that I need to put a lot of time in to understand, I'm not good with it. Math, that kind of thing. So cooking to me, just like music, is something that you don't necessarily have to know a lot about in order to make good food. I know there's probably people going to hear this and be like, oh, he has no idea what he's talking about, blah, blah, blah. You can make something that tastes good for the people that you love, then I believe then you succeeded as a cook,
Well, that's a
it doesn't have to
very
be
yin way of looking at it.
I mean, I've made certain things that are maybe, higher up recipes and stuff like that. And like I said, I cook for a living. I'm a hibachi chef. So I've been told that I make great food. I make good chicken, good scallops, all that good stuff. But some of the recipes that are, $40, $50 recipes, they don't necessarily taste as good as something that would cost $10 or $15. I'm a very simple-minded chef, I get good wholehearted, food. I like collard greens and mashed potatoes and barbecue and it's stuff like that. Like it's easy for me to grasp because I can take a taste of it. I can when it comes to food, I can taste the sauce or something and be like, well, that's not what I'm going for. Same thing with music. Sometimes, when me and you write, I try things and I'm like, oh, that sounded horrible. I don't want to do it again. I have to feel stuff. I'm not a very good learner by watching or, reading.
More of a hands-on approach.
Yeah, pretty much. And if I can't manipulate what I want, that's I guess you could say, if I can't manipulate like what I need to do, like as far as ingredients and stuff like that, then I'm not good with it.
Another passion that I know that you have is that you had a passion for writing, which we kind of touched on the little test podcast we did.
I still do. I just don't think I have the vocabulary. I can't spell. I cannot spell, and my grammar is horrible. I don't feel that I'm a great writer. I feel like I get what I want to say out there, but it might not necessarily be in the most colorful fashion, I guess you could say. Like, when I write, it paints a picture, but it's a very in-your-face picture, I don't have the talent that, say, somebody like Stephen King or Neil Gaiman or somebody has to weave these worlds. And I'm a very short-minded person. Like, I go one step at a time, whereas a lot of writers have the whole storyline in their head before they lay the first word down on the page, So a lot of my stuff starts and it just doesn't finish.
Well, I read some of your stuff, and it is very good. The imagery that you use, I think, is really good. And the music thing, we kind of already touched on our music relationship, kind of inspiring one another.
Still going strong.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Plugged it too. Dedicated to the memory.
Dedicated to the memory. Yeah, we don't have a website for Dedicated to the Memory, but hopefully, if I start a website for this podcast, we can put that on there so people will know these guys are from this band.
He's gonna e-pimp me all day.
E-pimp all day.
He's
all
gonna be
day.
like, look at us, we're doing stuff.
As well as me living with him when we were younger, there was a while when
I lived with you and I was younger.
yeah, yeah, that was fun, but that's not exactly what I'm talking about. When we lived at 551 Hill Avenue.
Oh, okay. Well, see, that's recent. I thought you were talking about the time that I lived with,
And we tried to ground you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, I mean, you might as well explain to people, I was, still, 15 or 16. No, I was a little bit older, right? I was, 17?
16, 17, 18 maybe.
Yeah, I wasn't yet 18.
You weren't 18
I
yet.
wasn't 18 yet. Actually,
still,
I think when you lived with me originally, I was only, 13 or 14.
you were 14.
Yeah. Because I remember you used to bring me over to your friend's house, and they'd be like, how old is he?
I was like, yeah, he's only 14.
They
he's only 15. Because remember we heard that song, I'm only 15?
Yeah. And
And what are you, 24 now? I said, that's 9 years. So we've been writing music for at least 9 years.
a decade of music, sir.
A decade of music.
We should have a greatest hits by now.
We should just put one out for the hell of it.
For the hell of it.
Yeah, just be like, this is dedicated to Memory's greatest hits. We'd have to dig deep, though.
Yeah, that'd be crazy.
Because to us, all of them are hits.
Duh.
And that's how it works. We wouldn't write it if we didn't believe it.
That was our diva moment.
Diva. Now, let's get to the games. I know you're a very big gamer. I have to actually fight with you sometimes to get you off.
I am a huge gamer.
What games would you like to plug?
The games I'm playing now?
Sure.
Okay. I was going to say, because, I play a lot of video games, so if I was to plug a bunch, some of them don't need plugs. They've been out for so long.
And people already know who they are.
Yeah, they already know who they are.
If you don't know what fucking World of Warcraft is, then we're probably...
Well, I was going to say, Smash Brothers, because I played the shit out of some Smash Brothers.
Smash Brothers?
Yeah, Smash Brothers Melee all day. What else? Battlefield 3. I've been getting really into Battlefield 3. I've been flying a helicopter.
Right.
Xbox, by the way. I own an Xbox. I don't have a PlayStation 3. Nothing against PlayStation 3 owners. I just don't have the money to buy both, and I like my Xbox.
Yeah, the Xbox, I definitely think is superior.
Yeah, Warren's rocking an Xbox, too. Halo. I'm not good at Halo. I used to be good at Halo. When I first started playing, I was really good at Halo. Back in the day when Warren was talking about living with me and stuff, I played a lot of Halo.
And he actually got me into Halo. I never actually played Halo back in the day.
Don't let him lie. He played the crap out of Halo 2 and 3.
Oh, I never played 2, actually.
I played 3.
I played the fuck out of 3.
Excuse me.
I played the fuck out of 3.
Yep. Warren was actually... Warren's more sociable as a person than I am when it comes to things like being online or around a bunch of people that I don't necessarily know. I clam up.
I was making friends left and right.
Yeah, and I had 2. I'd ride his coattails.
And they'd be like, oh, where's your friend's pockets?
Where's your friend pockets?
That was Skits.
Like, I'm right here. Yeah, Skits. Man, I haven't talked to Skits in a long
Skits
time.
was cool. His name was
English
Daniel.
Guy. What do you call Bo? A bow.
What do you say? A toot.
A toot.
It's like, well, you say hit from the bong. We say a toot from the bong.
A toot.
Well, I just don't rightly know.
How about our shitty English accents just then?
Yeah, dude. Well, that's funny, because we would call each other up and just talk in funny accents, and neither one of us would stop. The whole conversation or the whole car ride, wherever we would go.
Right.
Little interesting tidbit.
Yeah, interesting tidbit. Side note. There's so much you can't put it all in one podcast.
Right.
Right.
So you're really into WoW. I mean, who started you in on games?
I used to hate WoW. Oh, you talking about games in general?
Yeah.
My brother, man. My brother has always played video games. He played Counter-Strike and stuff. He's a huge PC gamer. I didn't really ever play a video game until... Well, no, I take that back. My brother, when we were growing up, when my mom was still with my dad and all that good stuff before everybody kind of split apart, my brother always had the Sega the Nintendo when it came out, that kind of thing, like the new console and all that good stuff. And then when I moved to Hopewell, I started playing PlayStation. I was so young when PlayStation came out. You think about it now, like the first PlayStation when it came out, it's ridiculous. Or the Super Nintendo. When you think about like the new generation that grew up on like PlayStation 2s and PlayStation 3s and Xbox 360s, when you talk about Nintendo, it's like
I remember the NES.
Yeah, it's like your older brother talking about Atari,
Yeah, your brother too, because your brother and my brother are kind of like the same age.
Yeah.
It's really weird because we actually found out that our brothers used to hang out and chill back in the day.
But we had no idea.
Exactly, and we ended up chilling before and knowing each other before we actually knew that. So that was very cool. It's a small world.
It's Hopewell.
That too. You said your brother got you into the games. What keeps you in the games now?
Well, it's actually a funny story because the game I play now, World of Warcraft, I hated World of Warcraft first because I had always been like, I guess you could say, as much as I played video games, I was still kind of a casual gamer.
Right.
Like I would stop playing my video games and go skateboard or stuff like that. But my friends, like everybody, like Ryan and Josh and everybody, like they're all playing this game, World of Warcraft. I think it was like Wrath of the Lich King, And my brother had tried it before, but it wasn't really his thing, so I'd seen him play it and stuff like that. Kevin had showed me way, way, way back in the day for like 2 seconds, but I was like, I can't get into it. There's too much buttons, It's hard to move, that kind of thing. So I was like, guys, where have you been? I haven't seen you in 2 days. And they're like, we've been playing WoW, man. You guys should start playing. I was like, nah. They got me into it. It's just the mindless self-indulgence with the grind aspect, man. Like, I know people hate the grind. Yeah, I know people hate the grind, but that's why I play it. Because, like, I want to be the top something, you know what I mean? Like, I want to have the good gear and just be able to... I've always PvP'd. I like playing against other people. So I think there's a skill part of it. And it's pretty much like the easy way out, I guess you could say, for somebody like me that doesn't really enjoy like sports and stuff like that. Like,
right.
I enjoyed karate, but as far as like the competition of karate, I didn't enjoy it.
You didn't like beating people up?
No, I don't like beating people up.
But you just like knowing the fact that you can?
No, I like knowing the fact that I can defend myself if I need to. But we said that the last time.
Yeah.
Where's it going? But yeah, like somebody like me that doesn't really enjoy pushing yourself as far as physical limits go. It's something that I could learn and I could be better. And I enjoy learning those little things like the rotation for my character and stuff like that to the point where I was actually doing good, And when I started doing good, I'm like, this is fun.
Once you actually got what you were supposed to be doing.
Exactly. Instead of running around like a noob being like, oh, God, what do I do?
That's my problem. That's my problem. Whenever I tried to play
for a little while, mind you. And this was Warren playing. Warren, turn around, hit that guy. What? Oh, God, how do I turn around? What do I do?
No, don't make me seem like an idiot. I knew exactly, not exactly what to do, but I knew what buttons to put.
You were a rogue, and you would run out of people unstealthed. Now, people that listen to this podcast and play WoW know exactly what I'm talking about. Rogues are supposed to be invisible. You're not supposed to see them coming, and here comes Warren trucking across the field. Just plain view. Like, I'm here, guys.
Well, I would pop into. I guess I did fuck it up because I'll pop into stealth right as my opponent sees me. Like I'm like, oh, he's over there, fucking stealth mode, and then I get hit, and I'm like, what the fuck? I was in stealth mode, but I didn't realize that he's seen my happy ass coming down all the way down that hill. He's like, oh, look at this guy. Yep. Oh, look at him trying to pop up.
Yep.
Poor kid.
That's how it is. I enjoy first-person shooters too because the feeling of winning, being like,
winning,
take that,
Now, do you think? Because there's a lot of outcry about video games being too violent for kids,
for the guns and everything.
Yeah.
And I think I don't know if you put it in the last podcast, but I think I touched on this. People are going to do what they want to do regardless of whether there was a video game involved or not.
Or a movie, yeah.
There was murders and mass suicides and bombings and all kinds of stuff. Hitler made a fucking Aryan nation and tried to take over the world, and there wasn't even a video game invented. There was no Miss Pac-Man. There was no Atari. What's his madness?
It's madness in people.
That's like outlawing books for their opinions to other characters because they portray serial killers and stuff like that. You can get the same information from a book that you would from a video game. I guess maybe it's different because it's visual stimulation.
Yeah.
But at the same time, crazy people are crazy people. We've always had them. We always will. It's not because of a video game, and it's not socially acceptable. I play first-person shooters all the time. I wouldn't shoot somebody unless I had to. You've played first-person shooters. Do you feel compelled to kill people?
Not at all. I
No.
mean, it's all about the person.
And as far as that, the world is a fucked up place. Sometimes it makes you angry. I'd rather have the release of going online and shooting some people to relieve my frustration than actual getting in a physical conflict.
Exactly.
You know?
And that's one of the things I think that needs to be expanded on, as far as how people are so afraid of guns and people.
Don't get me wrong. There's no reason you need. I agree with the fact that you don't need a M16 or I'm not a very good gun aficionado. You don't need a fully automatic weapon with a 200 round clip unless you're fighting somebody with another fully automatic weapon with a 200 round clip. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're not hunting with it. It's like people that do that hunting thing with a 50 cal sniper rifle. It's like, you just want to shoot something. You're not hunting. It's going to tear the deer apart. It's going to blow it in half. But you just want to shoot something with your 50 cal rifle. But if we didn't have a single gun in America now, there'd still be killings. I mean, you got to look at some countries that have outlawed guns completely. The cops don't even carry guns.
Well, they learned very quick, didn't they? Australia did that. They kind of changed that.
Well, they have to, because it's not like somebody else isn't going to get their hand on a gun. There's too much crime in the world. There's people who make their living off of selling guns to people who aren't supposed to have guns. Just because you don't carry guns, it just makes it easier for them to sell guns. Because at that point, it becomes, hey, you know what the cops don't have? One of these.
Check it out.
Look, exactly,
Yeah.
But I digress. If I had my way, we would all have lightsabers.
Ooh, lightsabers. I don't know, because I've been around a lot of drunk people at parties, and I don't think that there should be lightsabers.
Come on, though, man. I mean,
because it's like, I was just hanging out with Kent, and I lost an arm. I mean, Kent was like, check this out, but he was drunk, and it slipped out of his hand, and now
if
I have no legs.
If your lightsaber slips out of your hand, then you're not a very good Jedi.
I got cut in half.
You're not a very good Jedi if your lightsaber slips out of your hand.
Well, yeah, that's the problem. Everybody thinks they're a fucking Jedi when they're drinking.
Very true. Very true.
It's like, he's a fucking Jedi. He's oh shit. Well, now here lies Warren. I just wish I hadn't had that last beer.
But
put me over the line.
Getting back on topic or whatever. When you were talking about like the video games and stuff, and I said, like we've seen things like the NES and stuff like that. There's a lot of stuff in our lives. As you get older, you realize this. I guess just being like 25 right now, and still we don't really have room to talk about being old, but we're getting up there, But seeing certain things come about in the way they are now, and being there from the beginning, so to speak, like dubstep. Now, there's probably going to be a million angry emails about this if you put this online, but I'm not a fan of dubstep because I grew up on techno. And people can say all they want that there's millions of differences and blah, 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 and I'm ignorant. It sounds like techno.
Right.
But it is. It's
techno and dubstep. One and the same?
It is. It's one and the same. I don't know. But there's many aspects of it like that. The war that's been going on for what, last decade?
Yeah,
right. It's actually just about to end. But we saw the whole thing from start to finish.
It is cool to see things progress and be a part of it. And as far as us not having really much to talk about being old, we are at the point now where we can say, I remember back in the day when they had this. And when we say that, it's not, people aren't going to look at us and be like, oh, back in the day.
Oh, yeah, like old shows that we used to watch and stuff like that, like Our Real Monsters.
Our Real Monsters, Bobby's World, Animaniacs.
The old cartoons and stuff like that. Those are the classics, but, there's a lot of kids that don't know it anymore. I remember when SpongeBob SquarePants first started. You realize that's still going on?
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's nuts.
I remember when Rugrats was big.
Or when Family Guy just came on.
And The Simpsons.
No, I don't remember the beginning of The Simpsons. The Simpsons.
I don't really remember the beginning of The Simpsons. I remember it from like season 4 or season 3.
like when it was prime time, but I don't
Yeah.
remember the beginning. But like,
But that's been
Family
going
Guy,
on for the past 20-something years now.
Family Guy, the American Dad craze, all that.
King of the Hill.
King of the Hill.
Yeah, King
Well,
of the Hill.
King of the Hill was Beavis and Butthead days, though.
Yeah, but I remember when they actually made the first King of the Hill.
Yeah,
Yeah.
or that's another one, Beavis and Butthead. You know, everybody knows who they are, but a lot of the newer generation doesn't.
They don't get it.
They don't get it. Yeah.
No.
And that's the point we are now in life. Like, we're not getting it now. We're like, what? What are you doing?
I'm saying. What
And
the
maybe that's my
fuck?
problem with dubstep. I don't get it.
There's so many things that are going on now, and it's
And the
just
skinny jeans need to stop. Stop it.
stop the skinny jeans. And
Warren wore skinny jeans like that back in the day, so he looked like a female.
I didn't wear skinny jeans per se.
He wore tights.
Whoa! No, I wore my sister's jeans.
So do
But-
they.
What?
So do they.
But no, I just liked it because they had the pink inseam.
But I mean, it wouldn't bother me so much because I'm a big advocate of, you do what you do. It's your life. There's nobody in this world that can tell you what's right and wrong. And unfortunately, there are crazy people who just do wrong. Like I said, like I don't mind that they wear skinny jeans until it starts to affect me, I guess you could say, because like now it's hard to find baggy jeans.
Right.
Yeah, you're like, I understand if they want to wear skinny jeans, it's all good, but please bring back some Jinkos, man. Like I know
There is another market out there.
exactly. You got people like us that are like, I don't want my nuts pressed against my legs.
Yeah. Yeah. So I remember last time we talked, I asked you if you could tell me a story,
Right?
something that's impacted your life, and you told a very good story. Which even if I don't post that other podcast up, I will at least cut that story into this as like a special thing at the end, so that they can hear the story. But it greatly affected me as a person, and I know that it affected you.
Right.
Do a love or hate?
A love or hate thing?
Yeah. So obviously skinny jeans.
Not for them. I mean, we just had a 20-minute rant about it.
So that's a hate. All right. What do you think about teenager vampire movies?
One in particular, are you talking about? The Twilight series?
Yes.
They did great for what they did.
Well, the fact that you're taking so long to answer pretty
Try
much.
not to be
You're
so
loving
mean.
this, aren't you?
I'm
Loving
trying not
them.
to be so mean, Like, they did good for what they did. I'm not one to judge, considering they made box office millions.
Yeah, it's 3 hours of nothing.
I know, dude. She just cried in
Nothing.
her room. I just think if you have, and people are gonna be like, again, the aficionados, the Twilight aficionados, you're gonna have so much hate mail from this.
I'm
The-
okay because
The Twilight enthusiasts are gonna be like, you guys suck. Da, 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 da. But I mean, I grew up on vampire movies where vampires were supposed to be scary, and I think,
The Lost Boys.
yeah, I mean, to me, the best movie about a romantic involvement between vampires would probably be Interview with a Vampire.
That's what I was about to
Just
say.
because I grew up on it,
Yeah.
But
Totally trumps Twilight series.
it's I mean, they try. It's very teenagely angst in the Twilight series, but like, I mean, Interview, man, he was just so good in it. You had the little girl that he fell in love with, even though she still looks like 7 or 8.
Yeah.
And that kind of that's vampire problems, not I twinkle in the sun and then we have no place to play baseball, or we're all vegans and I'm trying not to eat you. No. That's why vampires hung out with other vampires, so you wouldn't have that problem. And if you really loved somebody, you would turn them, which was the whole thing with her and the other guy. Like, I've watched bits and pieces. Maybe if I wasn't forced through said movies, it wouldn't be so bad. But I mean, I'm a dork, and I can't get down with the Twilight series. So I would say it's a hate on the Twilight series too.
I hate on the Twilight series.
Hate on Twilight.
All right, love or hate.
We could do a love. I mean, I'm doing a lot of hating, right? So I can do a love, right?
Yeah.
I love anime. Love everything about it.
Ooh, we didn't even touch on the anime.
I know. I love anime.
What brought you to anime?
I've always enjoyed cartoons. I like
This
cartoons.
is all it is.
I
Like,
mean,
you
yeah. I can't get behind reality television, man. I told you before, like I don't care about what so and so on the Jersey Shore did, or because I
Yeah.
mean, I feel like people idolize, not so much idolize, or even if they're laughing at them, they're paying more attention to other people's lives than they should their own. Whereas anime, I mean, it's fantasy, you know, like it's that release. Like I've had enough of the real world, you know. I live in the real world, you know.
Yeah.
If I want reality TV, I will walk outside. Pretty much it, you know.
I don't really need to know what somebody's doing like 2,000 miles away or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
But I mean, at the same time, it serves a necessary purpose. I mean, if there wasn't 4 shows like the Jersey Shore reality TV, then things like this podcast would be null and void. Because who's to care what me and you have to say or what we need to talk about?
That's a good point. But still, it's the passion that I have.
But I never said I didn't like. I mean, I don't. It's not my thing, reality television. But I have nothing against it.
Exactly. Okay.
Same thing with podcasts. I mean, we are in such an information age that it's cool that you can know people that you normally wouldn't. I can know somebody in Russia while sitting here in America that I would have never met at any point in my life if it wasn't for our ability to, you know, express and communicate information back and forth. Again, this podcast, people wouldn't know who I am. People wouldn't know who you are, except for the people that know you.
The people that are actually going to listen to this podcast and hopefully tell their friends about it so that people will, you know, we can actually get some listeners on here.
Right. But again, I am a very big advocate of anime. So that's my love for this.
Your love.
My love.
Anime and video games.
Yeah, anime and video games. And kung fu movies.
Kung fu movies.
Yeah.
Everybody likes kung fu fighting.
And music.
Exactly.
See, I don't hate everything, people. Just a select few stuff.
He's actually a very loving person. He has more love for people than he does inanimate objects, such as music, such as skinny jeans, the Jersey Shore, stuff like that.
I don't think you can classify the Jersey Shore as inanimate objects.
Well,
They're lifeless.
Have you watched the show?
That's messed up. That wasn't me, people. It was not me. No hate mail for Cavan.
I'm just saying, to each their own, makes the world go round. Anything else you'd like to leave us with, bud?
Never take for granted what you have and love the people around you, because that's what it all boils down to.
Right on. And I will leave my email address and everything. Once I get everything started, I will have an ending to this that has all the info that you can get at me with, and I will let, you know, anybody that wants to send anything or send any regards towards Cavan, I will greatly pass on along the message. And hopefully we can get him to be unsingle.
Whatever.
I'm just saying. I appreciate you coming back. It's been an hour that we've recorded.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man, it's been fun. And hopefully we can get this up and going, and maybe even do a little co-hosting action maybe one day.
Maybe every now and again. We'll see. It depends on how well this goes over. But I definitely appreciate you having me on off the top of the dome piece. And hopefully people will like what we recorded.
I certainly hope so. And I think that they will. So,
all right. Well, bye, people.
Later. Well, there you have it, guys. Another awesome story told. Another podcast down. Another page in the book. Another chapter, if you will. I really hope that you guys enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun doing this, and I really think that Cavan has such a personality that people could gravitate to. So once again, to reiterate the point from the beginning, please check out PodSquad.com. It's a site that's created exclusively by me. I did everything to it. I did all the artwork, all the the layouts and everything. So please check that out. Check out Dubz Rec Room, where you can check out all the cool shit that I post that I think is awesome. Join the forum, Dubz Community, and tell your story and share your stories and share your opinions with other people that like what I'm doing. And check out my YouTube channel. Like I said, I just got a new camera, so I'm going to be trying to make more videos, give you a little bit more of a glimpse into my life and the opinions and the thoughts that I have. Speaking of thoughts, check out Dubz Thoughts on DubzPodSquad.com. It's a little thing where I post up some of my videos, some of my opinions on things, and I really hope that people get to that people check that out. And If you have any questions, concerns, suggestions, or comments, please feel free to email me, Dubz, D-U-B-Z, at dubspodsquad.com. I'm on SoundCloud, Mixcloud, Spreaker. I'm all over the place. So I hope that you got another extraordinary story from a seemingly ordinary person. For Off the Top of the Dome Piece, I'm Warren Gaskins. Thanks.